Greetings, taxable assets, or, should I say, collateral damage. I am Senior Auditor Valerius Kraus of the Departmento Analytica, and frankly, I do not care how your day is going. I do not care about your feelings, your hopes, or your little tactical dreams. I care about your tithes. I care about your efficiency. And I care about the mountain of incompetence I have to shovel through just to balance the galactic ledger.
Audit. Audit session 2026-0119 initialized. Primary subject, the Tau Empire. Cross-referencing data slate.
Silence, scribe. We're not just looking at the Tau. That's too broad. It's sloppy. We are conducting a forensic audit of a specific liability. I hold in my hand a report from the civilian contractor known as Auspex Tactics. He's titled this briefing, Top 10 Strongest Tau Empire Units.
The title. It appears optimistic, Auditor. The variable strongest suggests a focus on raw power output rather than logistical solvency.
Optimistic. It is gloss-brained propaganda. Strongest. What does that even mean? In the Departmento, we do not care about strength. An orc is strong. An orc is also a fiscal disaster. A pyramid biotitan is strong, but the biomass upkeep alone would bankrupt a subsector. No. We care about return on investment. We care about efficiency. We care about whether a unit pays its taxes in blood and victory points, or if it is just a parasite on the economy of war.
Shall I initialize the cross-reference protocols with the official ledger, sir? The Tau Empire Competitive Buying Guide.
Immediately. We are going to take the claims made by this, Auspex, and we're going to hold them against the cold, hard light of the competitive data. We will see which of these Xenos contraptions are assets and which need to be liquidated. Proceed to the macro audit. What is the state of the market? Open the books for Q1 2026.
Accessing global market data, the buying guide indicates that following the January balanced data slate, Tau Empire win rates are oscillating between 47% and 53%.
47 to 53%. Do you know what that is, Scribe?
Statistically average. A coin flip, sir.
No, you rusty calculator. It is not average. It is the Goldilocks zone of mediocrity. It's bureaucratic perfection. See, if they win 55%, the Munitorum sends an emergency nerf audit and breaks their kneecaps. They increase the points cost. They rewrite the rules. They ruin the investment. And if they drop below 45%, they become a write-off, a faction for masochists. But 47%, that is acceptable stagnation. It means they are flying under the radar. It means no one is coming to audit them.
However, Auditor the Buying Guide does note a discrepancy in the portfolio. It distinguishes between two types of investors, the Timmy profile and the Spike profile.
Ah, yes, the classic market segmentation. Let's unpack this for the citizens who think war is about fun. The Timmy, the casual investor, the one who buys a model because it is big and has many guns. The Timmy is a financial liability. The Timmy looks at a Stormsurge and sees a giant robot that goes, boom. I look at a Stormsurge and see a 360-point hole in my budget.
And the Spike? The Spike is a pragmatist. The Spike doesn't care if the model looks cool. The Spike cares if the model scores points. The Spike pays their taxes. The Spike understands that in the 41st millennium, there is no glory. There is only the score at the end of turn 5.
The data suggests a significant shift in doctrine for these Spike investors, sir. A move from Kauyon the patient hunter to Mont'ka the killing blow. Auspex Tactics confirms Mont'ka is posting the most top placings.
Of course it is. Let's discuss the economics of these two philosophies, because this is where most commanders go bankrupt. Kauyon is a long-term investment bond. You invest your points, and you wait. You wait for turn 3. You wait for the enemy to come to you. You are banking on compound interest, the idea that your guns will be better later in the game.
But auditor waiting allows for the sustained hit bonus to maximize output. Statistically, the damage ceiling is higher in late-game Kauyon.
Statistically, you can drown in a river with an average depth of 1 inch. Look at the reality of the market, Scribe. Wait for turn 3 in this economy. By turn 3, the World Eaters have already foreclosed on your deployment zone. The orcs have looted your objective markers. You are waiting for your bonds to mature while the enemy is currently wearing your liquidity as a hat.
So, patience is not a virtue.
Patience is a luxury for people who can afford to lose the primary objective markers in turns 1 and 2. We cannot. The primary mission is where the revenue is generated, 5 points for holding 1, 5 points for holding 2, 5 points for holding more. If you spend 2 turns hiding in a corner being patient, you are giving the enemy a 10 or 15-point lead. You are starting the fiscal year in debt.
Which explains the shift to Mont'ka.
Exactly. Mont'ka is the only fiscally responsible choice. It grants lethal hits. Do you understand the value of a lethal hit, Scribe?
It allows a critical hit roll of 6 to automatically wound the target, skipping the wound roll entirely.
It bypasses the bureaucracy of toughness. It doesn't matter if the enemy is a T-12 tank or a T-3 guardsman. A 6 is a wound. It is efficiency. And more importantly, Mont'ka gives you assault weapons. It allows you to advance and shoot. It increases your threat range. You advance, you shoot, you seize the objective, you score. That is how you balance a ledger. Immediate returns on violence. Now give me the first item on Auspex's list. Let's see what he thinks is strong.
Item 1. Asset Class A. The 1. The Stormsurge ballistic suit. Auspex Tactics notes 3 lists using that. Points cut, strong and casual play.
Casual play.
Sir, the contractor, he seems enthusiastic about the points reduction.
Strong and casual play is code for losing money with a smile. The Stormsurge is a sunk cost fallacy on legs. It is a walking Ponzi scheme. Listen to me closely, citizens. You see a model that costs nearly $200 in real currency and 360 points in game currency. You think, this will solve my problems.
It does possess a weapon strength of 26, Auditor. It can obliterate a Night Titan in a single volley.
And that is a massive, planet-sized it gets to shoot. The buying guide classifies the Stormsurge as a C-tier trap. And do you know why? It cites Titanic vulnerability. Read the zoning laws, scribe.
Accessing core rules. Keyword Titanic. Models with this keyword cannot benefit from the obscuring trait of ruined terrain features.
Precisely. It is too big to hide. In the current meta, the board is covered in ruins. Small ruins, big ruins. If you are a tank or a crisis suit or even a Riptide, you can stand behind a wall and the enemy cannot see you. You are safe. You are an unlisted asset. But the Stormsurge, it looms over the building. It waves at the enemy. Hello, I'm worth 360 points. Please focus all your anti-tank weaponry on me immediately.
So, by deploying it, you are essentially guaranteeing the enemy has a valid target for their heaviest weapons on turn 1.
You are doing their job for them. You are validating their investment in las cannons and railguns. And the Stormsurge has a 4+ invulnerable saves, but, well, only against ranged attacks. In melee, it folds like a cheap lawn chair.
But the points drop, Auditor. Auspex mentions it is cheaper now. Surely a discount increases the ROI.
A discount on a burning building is still a bad investment, you rusted toaster. Look at the opportunity cost. That is the most important concept in the Departmento. For 360 points, what else can I buy? I can buy nearly 2 Riptides. 2. Or 3 units of breachers in Devilfish.
Diversification of assets.
Redundancy. 2 assets are always better than 1 big dead target. If you lose 1 Riptide, you still have 50% of your portfolio operating. If you lose your Stormsurge, you are bankrupt. You have lost your hammer, your anvil, and your dignity.
The buying guide confirms. Absent from winning lists like the Palm Springs 8-0.
Liquidate the Stormsurge inventory, melt it down, turn it into paper clips. It is gloss-brain nonsense for people who like loud noises and losing games. Give me the next asset. Give me something that actually works.
Asset Class B. The Riptide Battlesuit. Auspex Tactics places it in 4th place. Cost 200 points. Mentions the Ion Accelerator Strength 10 Overcharge upgrade.
Finally, a durable asset. The Riptide is the distraction Carnifex of the fiscal quarter.
Distraction. Carnifex, sir. I believe that is a Tyranid bioform.
It is a term of art, Scribe.
Yeah.
It refers to an asset that is so annoying, so durable, and so threatening that the opponent must deal with it. But doing so is a waste of their resources. The Riptide is a fiscal fortress. Toughness 9. A 2+ save. And that 4+ invulnerable save.
Please, clarify the invulnerable save for the lay citizens, Auditor.
It's tax evasion. That's what it is. Normal armor can be pierced. If the enemy hits you with a high armor penetration weapon, an AP-4 melt-a-beam, your armor is useless. You get no save, you just die. But an invulnerable save, that is a force field. It's a loophole. The enemy fires a sun-destroying laser at you, and you simply roll a die. On a 4, 5, or 6, the damage is ignored. It's 0. You look at the laws of physics and say, I have a permit that says no.
And this durability forces the opponent to make inefficient trades.
Exactly. They have to shoot their best anti-tank weapons at it. But with a 4++ save, half of those shots will just bounce off. They waste their high-value assets trying to liquidate your Riptide, while your actual damage dealers are safe.
The buying guide references the Palm Springs case study player, Durante Bazzini, an 8-0 victor.
A man who knows how to cook the books. Look at his portfolio. 3 Riptides, 0 Stormsurges. And why? Because the Riptide has utility. It has a weapon support system that allows it to fall back and shoot.
Why is that significant, Auditor? If the Riptide is a shooting unit, why? Why would it be in melee combat to begin with?
Because the enemy gets a vote, Scribe. The enemy will try to tag your tanks. They will run a unit of cheap Hormagoats or Guardsmen into base contact with your Riptide. In previous editions or with other tanks, this shuts you down. You can't shoot. Your asset is frozen. It's production halt.
Okay, a strike action, effectively.
Precisely. But the Riptide, it ignores the picket line. It has the Battlesuit support system. It walks away from bad deals. It falls back out of combat. And because of the rule, it is still eligible to shoot. It flies out of melee and shoots the very unit that tried to tag it in the face. That is executive leadership. That is refusing to let the market dictate your actions.
Auspex also mentions the Ghostkeel Battlesuit in 5th place. He highlights the lone operative keyword and,
Stealth drones?
the Ghostkeel, yes. That outer tax haven.
Tax havens, sir.
Lone operative is a keyword that means you cannot be targeted by ranged attacks from more than 12 inches away. It doesn't matter if the enemy has a basilisk artillery piece that can shoot across the continent. If they are not within 12 inches, you do not exist. You are effectively offshore. You are in the Cayman Islands of the battlefield.
This forces the enemy to engage on your terms.
They have to physically move their units into bad positions, close range, exposed, just to file a complaint against the Ghostkeel. And when they finally get there, when they finally line up the shot, the drones activate.
The blanking ability. Twice per game, the Ghostkeel can change a damage roll to 0. Imagine the frustration scribe. The enemy maneuvers a list cannon. They hit. They wound. You fail your save. They roll for damage. It's a 6. That would kill a normal suit. And the Ghostkeel pilot just taps a button on his console and says, "Objection. Irrelevant." The damage becomes 0. It wastes the enemy's time. And in war, time is the only currency you cannot print more of.
Speaking of work, Auditor. The next entry involves the static drone keyword.
SDOP. Stop that noise.
I apologize, Auditor. My vocal processor is experiencing a voltage fluctuation in the subharmonic range.
You sound like the ventilation unit in Sector 7. Do you hear that? That fan has been rattling since the Indomitus Crusade began. Do you know how much promethium that fan wastes? I requested a repair ticket in M41. It is now M42. This is why the Empire is crumbling. Inefficiency. Everywhere. I try to audit a Xenos army for tactical viability, and I have to do it while listening to a servitor that sounds like a blender full of gravel.
I will attempt to. Modulate, sir. Rerouting power from my logic centers to audio output.
Disgusting. This recap is cold. It tastes like engine oil and despair. Why is the Departmento budget for caffeine allocated to the planetary governor's exotic bird sanctuary? Never mind. Just continue. Before I liquidate you for scrap value, what is the next asset?
Asset Class C, the labor force. Auspex Tactics lists the Fire Warrior Breacher team, 90 points, 30 shots at Strength 6, usually in a Devilfish.
Usually. Did he say usually?
That is the text, sir.
It is not usually in a Devilfish, you rusted toaster. It is mandatorily in a Devilfish. A breacher walking is a breacher dying. They have a 10-inch range on their guns. If they are walking, they're being shot by bolters from 24 inches away. They are dead assets before they even clock in for their shift.
The buying guide refers to the synergy as the Fish of Fury 2.0.
Correct. This is the backbone of the Mont'ka economy.
Yeah.
Listen to the workflow. You take the Devilfish transport. It moves 12 inches. It uses the combat embarkation logic to advance. The breachers disembark another 3 inches. That is 15-plus inches of threat range extension. They're commuting to work scribe. And because of the Mont'ka detachment rule, what did they get?
The assault keywords, sir.
The assault keywords. This is crucial. Normally, if you advance, if you sprint, you cannot shoot. But Mont'ka says run and gun. They get out and they'd unleash 30 shots. Strength 6, AP 1.
But Auditor Strength 6 is middling. Against a standard Marine, Toughness 4, it wounds on 3s. But against a tank, Toughness 10, it only wounds on 6s.
Ah, but you're forgetting the breacher team ability. They re-roll wounds on objective.
Rerolling wounds allows them to punch up.
It allows them to ignore the laws of physics through sheer bureaucratic volume. Strength 6 versus Toughness 10. Mathematically, that should be a bad trade, but with full re-rolls to wound. You are fishing for those 6s. You are forcing so many saving throws that the enemy tank eventually fails. It is death by 1,000 paper cuts. Volume of fire is the only currency that matters. If you throw enough dice, the bell curve eventually bends to your will.
And the Devilfish itself. Auspex mentions Seeker missiles.
Seeker missiles are fine. One-shot assets. Use them or lose them. But the Devilfish's true value is that it is a wall. It's a brick. You disembark the breachers, you shoot the enemy off the objective, and then you do the most important thing.
Right.
You park the empty Devilfish right in front of the enemy's melee unit.
Move blocking.
Precisely. You park the bus. You deny the enemy their commute. Imagine the World Eaters. They are angry. They have axes. They want to charge your breachers. But there is a floating tank in the way. They cannot move through it. They have to charge the tank or walk around it. If they charge the tank, they waste a turn killing a transport that has already done its job. By the time they deal with the tank, The breachers have backed up and reloaded. It is cynical. It is beautiful. It is efficient.
Proceeding to Asset Class D, Expendables, Auspex Tactics lists Kroot Carnivores, 65 points, key feature, sticky objectives.
The Kroot, they smell, they eat the dead, they are entirely unprofessional, they do not wear uniforms, they probably do not file tax returns, but
The Ledger, sir.
the Ledger loves them. They are cheap, they are dirty, and they die so the balance sheet stays in the black.
Please explain the concept of sticky objectives, Auditor. How does an objective become sticky?
It's passive income, Scribe. Imagine you own a manufactorum. You walk in, you sign the deed, and then you leave. But the manufactorum keeps sending you checks every turn. That is sticky objectives. The Kroot touch the objective marker in turn 1. The objective becomes Tau controlled. The Kroot leave. They go to die somewhere else. But the objective keeps scoring victory points even though no one is standing on it.
So they generate revenue without presence.
Exactly. Look at the alternative. If you have to leave a 200-point Riptide standing on a circle just to hold it, you are wasting assets. That Riptide is capital that is sitting idle. The Riptide should be killing. The Kroot exists to tag the point and then throw themselves into the gears of the enemy war machine.
Screening units.
Meat shields. Flesh is cheaper than battlesuits. If a unit of Kroot stands in front of a unit of orcs, the orcs have to kill the Kroot to get to me. That takes a turn. That buys one more turn for the rail sides to fire. You are trading 65 points of bird meat for a turn of shooting with your entire army. That is an ROI of infinity. It is cruel, but war is not a charity. The Kroot understand the contract. They get paid in meat. We get paid in time.
We are approaching the apex of the audit, sir. Asset Class E Auspex Tactics ranks this as the #1 unit, appearing in 22 out of 25 lists. The stealth battlesuits.
The stealth tax.
Auspex notes the squad size is fixed at 5 models now, and the cost is 110 points. He implies this is expensive.
It is expensive. In the old days, you could buy 3 of them for peanuts. Now, you must buy a block of 5 or 6. It feels like a tax. You look at your list, you have 2,000 points, and you have to set aside 330 points just for 3 units of these little suits. You hate to pay it, but if you don't pay the tax, the IRS comes for your knees. The Imperial Range Superiority. Without stealth suits, the Tau army does not function. Tau are ballistic skill 4+ math. That means they hit on 4s. That is a coin flip, a 50% failure rate. Do you run a department with a 50% failure rate, Scribe?
I strive for 0.0001% error margins, Auditor.
Yeah.
50% would result in immediate decommissioning.
Exactly. 50% is unacceptable. A Riptide that misses half its shots is a waste of points. But the stealth suits, they are the auditors of the battlefield. They observe the target. They apply for the greater good synergy. And what specific buffs do they give?
They grant the guided unit reroll 1s to hit and reroll 1s to wound.
There it is. The reroll 1s to wound, that is the magic number. Listen to me, investors. Tau weapons have high strength, strength 10, strength 14. You are usually wounding on 3s or 2s. The only way you fail is if you roll a 1. The stealth suits remove that failure point.
The buying guide math suggests this increases total damage output by 16 to 36%, depending on the target profile.
It makes the math reliable. It flattens the variance. Without this, your Riptide is just a statue that sometimes shoots lasers. With the stealth suits biting it, it becomes a scalpel. It becomes a reliable asset.
Auspex also mentions the homing beacon for a maneuver called Rapid Ingress.
Ah, yes. Off the books, asset delivery. Tax-free.
Please, elaborate on Rapid Ingress.
Rapid Ingress is a stratagem. Normally, it costs 1 command point. It allows you to bring a unit in from deep strike from reserves at the end of the opponent's movement phase.
Why is the timing relevant?
Because normally, you arrive on your turn. You drop in and you have to stay 9 inches away. Then you have to try and charge, or you stand there and get shot. But with Rapid Ingress, you arrive on the enemy's turn after they have moved. You drop in safely, maybe behind a wall. Then on your turn, you can move. You can get within 3 inches. You can get within melter range.
And the stealth suits affect the cost.
Their homing beacon allows you to do this for 0 command points. It is a free stratagem. It is insider trading. You are acting on information the enemy provided before they can react. You drop a unit of Sunforged Crisis suits, the tank killers, right on the flank of their most expensive unit. And because it's free, you still have CP left for other tricks.
So the stealth suit is not a combat unit. It is a management unit.
It is middle management that actually works. They spot targets. They bring in reserves. They are durable enough, -1 to hit, 2 wounds to sit in the midboard and not die immediately to bolter fire. 88% inclusion rate in winning lists. If you are building a tell list and you do not start with 3 units of stealth suits, you have failed the audit before you even deployed.
Summarizing the audit findings, Auditor. We have cross-referenced Auspex's top units with the Bazzini portfolio and the Departmento buying guide.
Synthesize the winning portfolio. What is the formula for solvency in 2026?
Step 1. Pay the tax. 3 units of stealth suits. Mandatory. Step 2. The labor force. Breachers and Devilfish. Maximize the Fish of Fury mechanic for primary objective control. Step 3. The anchors. Riptides and Ghostkeels. High durability, high utility, specifically not Stormsurges. Step 4. The philosophy. Mont'ka.
Aggression, redundancy, efficiency. You do not buy 1 big toy, you buy 3 efficient toys. You do not wait for the enemy to come to you, you audit them immediately with lethal force. You seize the primary, you block their movement, you make them pay for every inch of ground.
And the verdict on the civilian contractor, Auspex tactic.
Hi, praise, sir.
Don't push it. His identification of the assets was mostly accurate. He correctly identified the stealth suits as number 1. He correctly flagged the Riptides and Ghostkeels. He even correctly flagged the Stormsurge as a casual pick, despite his optimistic title.
However, he lacks cynicism. He talks about strength. He talks about fun.
Yeah.
We know the truth, Cribe. There is no fun in the 41st millennium. There is only the ledger. He identified the assets, but he just lacks the hatred of inefficiency required to truly understand why they work. But I will stamp his file compliant for now.
Audit concluded. Shall I power down the cogitators? Auditor!
Look at the numbers, Scribe.
Yeah.
Look at the win rates again. 47%, 53%.
It is balanced, as you said.
We calculate the lethality. We optimize the killing blow. We argue about whether a Riptide is worth 200 points or under 90. We spend hours analyzing whether a Strength 6 Pulse Blaster is statistically superior to a Strength 5 Carbine. But in the end, Scribe, it is just plastic toys fighting in a dying galaxy. The Tau strive for the greater good. They believe they can bring order to the chaos. We, the Imperium, strive to hold back the night with faith and fire. But here, in this room, we strive for a balanced ledger. Neither of us will get what we want. The galaxy does not care about our efficiency. It does not care about our 4++ invulnerable saves. It only cares that the blood keeps flowing.
That is illogical, sir. The data suggests that optimization leads to survival.
It is the only logic there is. We are just rearranging deck chairs on a burning starship. We are counting pennies while the bank burns down. But it is our job to rearrange them perfectly. If we are going to die, we will die with a balanced budget.
Shall I initiate the sign-off protocol?
Yes. If you found this audit compliant, citizens, if you learned how to save a few points, how to purge the inefficiency from your lists, then tap the like rune, subscribe to the Departmento feed. It is mandatory. Failure to do so will result in a servo skull audit of your personal hablock. And trust me, you do not want me coming to your house to check your receipts.
For the love of the Empire.
Dismissed. Pay your tithes, citizens. And someone fix that damn fan.